Hey Sam, I just got finished watching your video. Oh my God, that hauling off the dead wood, that timber thing, that looks like a big pain in the ass, man. I'm sorry to be laughing, dude, but oh my God, it took you 3 hours, 3.5 hours to make what I made like in 10 minutes on hauling that hay. That's ridiculous. But hey, second week in September, it is raining its butt off here this morning. Check this out. Isn't this beautiful? Even got my laundry out and it's just getting soaked. I'll take you out and show you a little bit more what I've done around the farm. I've been cleaning up over the last week or so. And, basically, I've been really just working around the farm trying to get ready for some animals and things. All right, hold on. There's somebody at the door. I'll come back with you in a minute. Somebody at the door. Hold on. Oh my God, Sim, you will not believe what just happened to me. So these people, guys, I think that one of them was a lady as well. Um, oh my gosh, I've got all of this on in paperwork, but let me. Oh my God, I'm so upset I can't even think right now. So basically, I now understand why no one bought this place, and now that I bought it, I feel like I've been robbed. Okay, the parish that this place is in, I got to get out here so I don't break anything. Try to get away from the rain a little bit. The parish that this place is in, back in something like, I don't know, it was 1862 or something, they set down these communal bylaws, and essentially what it is here I'll just read the first line to you. Residents and visitors of the parish where I'm at right now are inherently bound, let me reread this, inherently bound to a social contract with the parish, thereby meaning that any conduct of any sort can be deemed unsocially acceptable by the parish is I don't understand most of these damn legal words. Basically, let me just tell you what the dude told me. Okay, here basically is the deal. So because I bought this piece of property and because I'm now, quote, a resident here, I'm now bound by the social etiquette of the parish. Now, it's not like a socialist, communist kind of place, but basically there is a social responsibility that every person, even visitors, have when coming here. In other words, you can't break the law. That's one thing, but you also can't, in a nutshell, be an asshole, right? If you go onto someone's property that you're supposed to be on, if you conduct business in a shady way, if you try to cheat people, if you're not, treating people fairly and respectfully, you can get in trouble, right? So let me just read you the list of things that I'm currently in trouble for. Number one, when I did the contracts for the people, I had, kind of skirted around, kind of went across someone's property as opposed to taking the road. Well, that's a violation. I drove a vehicle across someone's field, and that's a violation. It's a $10,000 fucking fine for driving across somebody's property when you're not allowed to, or if you don't have their permission. Okay. Number two, I got an environmental fine as well. Now, I didn't show you this, but I tried to jump across the creek over there, and the creek was too deep, and I had to go and pull the tractor out. Well, I got an environmental fine, $5,000 for driving into the creek because I polluted the water with the chassis and the fucking tractor that I drove across the water. So that's a $5,000 fine. Okay, and in addition to that, I was caught going the wrong way on the one way, going around the church when I was trying to get to that field, and I didn't know how to get to that field. Well, I went the wrong way. I went up the one way, and the car come by. You might have saw that in the video. I got in trouble for that because a person called in and said I was driving the wrong way on a one way. So that cost me a $1,000 fine as well. Now, here's the thing. All of these fines, I'm not having to pay these fines, but I'm just getting a warning because of these are my first offenses. And on top of that, they also come out here and told me on the farm the way things are written when it comes to people who are breaking the law. So dwellings are exempt in the sense of places that you live in that are attached to what you live in. So the house, this building here, this little shop, so domiciles are exempt from this this ruling, this law that I'll tell you about here in a second. So domiciles are exempt, and anything that has to do with animal husbandry is exempt. But otherwise, if you engage in activity in a building, that building can actually be condemned because of the illegal activities that are in that building. So get this, depending on what the stages of it and how bad it is, there's various scales. But like if you had a house and someone broke into your house, and then another person come in and broke into your house and murdered them, and you were off at in some place on vacation, it wouldn't matter. They actually would condemn your home because they would consider the home no longer livable because of the social impact that that home has on the neighboring areas. If someone got murdered in your house, you'd have to actually tear your house down. So what does that mean for me? Well, some of the property out here, some of the stuff, some of the buildings that I own are now actually considered to be condemned. Check this out. So anything that has to do with other animal husbandry isn't subject to any of this. So my horse fields, my cows, my sheep, anything of that nature is all kind of exempt from this particular ruling. So the pig pen is exempt, so on and so forth. Now, these buildings over here are not exempt, but I'll tell you about those here in a second. But here's the big one. Here's the big one. All six of my greenhouses have to be destroyed. You can't even sell them. They have to be they have to be recycled. So in its original state has to be broken down to its individual components, and those components can be recycled. And here's the deal. I don't get to do anything with it. There is a company that the parish works with. There's 3 of them. There's one of 3 that I can call. There's one located in this parish. There's 2 in another parish that I can actually call. And whatever they deem these are worth from a recycle point of view is all I get from them. And I can't keep anything out of them as well. So I can't keep the rain barrels. I can't keep the buckets. I can't keep anything, right? So all 6 gone. I have to get rid of them. Okay, that's the first thing. Number 2, all of these crops out here, these crops that were planted to hide all of this activity, the crops, I cannot sell the crops. Now, I can repurpose the crops. So I can take the crop, for example, and I could turn the wheat into bread. That's okay because it's being crushed down to its individual components and then recycled, reused. But I can't sell, for example, I can't sell the corn. I couldn't sell the corn. I have to do something with the corn. Now, I can use the corn to feed the corn to my own pigs or my own chickens and things of that nature, and I can recycle the corn and make cornmeal and stuff like that out of it. But I can't sell the corn because the corn was illicit to the criminal activity that was going out here. So everything I harvest, I have to figure out how to use because I cannot sell it. Hey, and the last thing, not only to do with the crops, but all of the equipment was subject as well. Now, luckily, none of the equipment was actually used in the producing of the marijuana. So all the equipment that I have is actually not being condemned. But what is being condemned is this building, this open building here. Why? Because all these cars are reported stolen. And because they are stolen, they have been socially tainted, and because they're tainted, I can only sell them for scrap. Like these 3 brand new scooters, they're $25,000 a piece, and all I can do is scrap them, and that's whatever the scrap company gives me. After those vehicles are gone, I have to then have someone come in and destroy this. I can't do it because they might find that I'm, keeping this stuff. So every one of these have to go through a certification process, a certification of destruction, of breaking down to its individual car. These brand new cars, dude, brand new cars have to go into the junkyard and be recycled. There, you can't even pull parts off of them and use the parts off. This building has to come down. Now, the other buildings that were subject to investigation was these 2 buildings over here. So the building here on the right and this other little building. So these 2 buildings here were subject to investigation. They investigated these buildings and they said these buildings are not tainted. So I get to keep those buildings. I get to keep all the other buildings across the front. However, in addition, I have to get rid of this building. This building, they found that some of the marijuana was being stored and dried in this building. So this building is now also considered to be tainted. So I have to get rid of all of the greenhouses. I have to get rid of this building. I have to get rid of the building over here on the that's got all the cars and stuff in it. I have to get rid of all of the cars, and everything has to be certified that it's been destroyed and broken down to its original components. As far as the crops, I can go back and replant the crops. I can do whatever I want to with the crops. But even the straw, I cannot sell the straw. I can use the straw. I can break it down into components. In other words, I can use it for bedding. I can give it to the animals. I could do that kind of stuff. But the raw product cannot be used. In other words, this social structure that they have out here is based off a idea of if something gets tainted, they don't want that negative energy to be put back into the environment. They don't want it to be put back into the community. So it's not like you even take it to another community and sell it. I mean, surely I could go and do that and find somebody else a long ways away. But as soon as they found out it was for here, then I would be in trouble for having bad business practices. Okay, so this is insane. Now, here's the thing. All of this, until I get all of this done, I actually have been penalized, and I cannot do any more contracts. Even the guy I did the hayfield for, he was super happy, said he had another contract coming up in September that he wanted me to do. I cannot do that contract until I get this blemish taken off of my name. They sent out a communication to everybody in the city, let them know that right now I am considered to be a bad business partner because I have not currently satisfied my social requirements. I have to go through and have all of this done. I have to go and have it certified. It has to all go through the county office, and the social administration office has to sign off on everything that's left before I can do anything. Now, what I can do is I can go ahead and get animals and run animals. I can replant the fields. I can go ahead and harvest the crops when the crops are ready. But in a nutshell, I'm essentially trapped. I am trapped on this farm until I find out what was going on. Now, 3 hours I debated with these guys and talked to them and debated with them and debated with them. Like, they wanted to take the tractor. They were like, the tractor, obviously the tractor was used. And I was like, how is the tractor being used to do the marijuana up here in these, the cannabis up here in these damn greenhouses? You can't drive the tractor into it. You can't get anywhere around the tractor. They were growing the cannabis and taking it out of these things. So I got to keep the tractor. Same thing with the cultivator and stuff. If the equipment had been used to actually plant these crops, all the equipment would have been forfeited as well. It was this is absolutely insane. I can see why no one wanted to deal with this. I did not read the fine print. I did go back and look at the contract that I did sign, and sure enough, at the bottom of the contract, there was talking about that the new owner of the property will have to comply with all social and economic responsibilities with the property. And I thought, well, surely economic responsibilities. I checked. I made sure there was no debts, all that kind of good stuff. But this social thing, I did not freaking understand. The other thing that I have to do, believe it or not, is I cannot get rid of this police box. In fact, it has to be moved back out here to the edge of the property where originally it was at. So at my expense, I've got to put this police box back over here next to this road sign, right where this dude's walking right here. I got to put it back over here at my expense because that's where it originally was. And the people had moved it. It's absolutely insane what I have to do to be able to operate going forward in this place. It's this whole social contract thing. I kind of get it. They want to keep their parish in good order. They want to be able to, have a community where people respect each other and things get along. No wonder this place has such low crime rates. The penalties for this stuff is absolutely insane. Luckily, I had generated in that one or 2 days where I was out there working a contract, I had amassed almost $20,000 worth of penalties just driving around. I didn't know know any different. I didn't know about all these penalties, and I didn't even know that your neighbors could just tattletale on you. I mean, it's just incredible how they don't send out a cop. In fact, the police department here is like one guy. That's it. They send out this social administration people, and dude, they just ripped me a new one from one end to the other. 3 hours I was out here walking around in the rain with these people. I mean, look at it. I was the video I started talking to you, I think, was at 8 o'clock, and now it's like 10:46. This is insane. I've been out here forever with these people. They just left, and before I can do anything, before I can do another contract, before I can they even told me that it would be highly unlikely that any business person would do business with me in any regards until I get this blemish taken off of my record. Now, again, this is a social what do you call it? It is a social contract between me as being a citizen of the parish and the other citizens of the parish. It's not with the government. That's the interesting thing about it. The local government runs the facilities and does the checking and so on and so on. But the way it's written is it's a social contract with the citizens. So if I'm driving down the road and some guy pulls out in front of me, I could basically go and report him for being a bad citizen. Say, hey, this guy, ran a stop sign. He ran out in front of me. And there are real repercussions for that. It is like everybody keeps everybody on their toes. Now, oh my God, I got to get inside. This rain's getting to me. Oh, sorry about that, man. Yeah, my throat is so raspy. You can probably hear it. I've been yelling at these people. And the funny thing of it is, the lady that was there, she even told me, she said, sir, you don't understand the ramifications. Even yelling at us for doing our job, you're not being a good citizen, and you're violating your citizen contract with the parish. Oh, I don't know what the hell I've stepped into, bro. I don't know. This is absolutely insane. I'm going to stop recording now, and I'm going to see if I can get a hold of these people to come out and see about removing this stuff. And what am I doing? Oh my God, what have I got myself into?